Now, let's talk about our new dataset on education and gender. This is an important issue for voters to understand, but people just don't seem very interested.
Policymakers need the public's support to make this a policy priority.
I've got an idea.
Today, the National Statistics Office of Estigia announced its first contest in data visualization, called Hackaviz. I'm here with Frida, Director of the National Statistics Office, and Karim, the NSO's Partnership Manager. Tell us, who may enter the Hackaviz?
Anyone is welcome to enter the contest.
Just go to our website to download the data on education and gender and enter your team's visualization.
What will the judges be looking for in the entries?
A visualization should help a person understand the story that's in the data. It should help the viewer interpret the data correctly.
Also, the visualization should inform the viewer about the source of the data, so the reader knows how trustworthy the information is.
Who will judge the entries?
There are 3 judges.
The National Statistics Office selected 2 judges who are well versed in the fundamental principles of official statistics and what a good data visualization entails. They represent 2 important users of official statistics, policymakers and journalists.
The 3rd judge will be a regular person, maybe one of your viewers.
How exciting! Entries to the Hackaviz are due on the 1st of the month. Tune in then for full coverage of all the action. Now for the weather. Welcome to EBC's live coverage of the Hackaviz, brought to you by the National Statistics Office. Joining me for live commentary is Karim from the National Statistics Office.
Hello.
Our Master of Ceremonies is Nabil from the National Statistics Office. The judges are entering the hall now. First, we have the Honorable Minister Wen of the Ministry of Education, an experienced policymaker.
Next, we have Jennifer, Editor-in-Chief of the Gazette, Estigia's most respected newspaper.
And finally, Joe Q, Public, a resident of Estigia.
The judges will score each visualization from 0 to 10. They'll be looking for accuracy, clarity, context, and style.
Here's the first entry. The judges are considering their scores. Let's see what they have to say.
Minister, what's your reaction to the first entry?
What's this about? The title is meaningless. I like the colors, so I gave it some style points. My score is 4.
I like the picture, and blue is my favorite color. I like the word exhilarating. This must be about parks, or children in parks. I'll give it a 5.
What's the story here? Whatever it's measuring, the numbers have gone up a lot, but I have no idea what it's showing. I gave it a 2.
Contestant number 1's overall score is 3.7.
Our first entry was submitted by Zaniger, a graphic designer in Easton, in Estigia's Eastern Province. Karim, what do you think?
While it looks nice, the designers haven't labeled the data or given it a meaningful title, so we can't really tell what it's showing. The axis is shortened, which can be misleading. It looks like whatever's being measured has grown more than it actually has.
Here comes the second entry. The editor does not look happy.
All those bars and lines are too small to read in our online edition. There's too much going on. What's the story? I give it a 4.
What's going on here? 3 members of my staff could look at this visualization and each of them would come to a different conclusion. Is this a graph or a carpet swatch? I give it a 2.
It has a lot of numbers, so it's probably really important. If it's an issue I care about, I might take time to figure it out, but otherwise, it's just too much work to understand. I'll give this a 5.
This entry comes from a team of graduate students at the University of Estigia. Karim, tell us what you see.
There's too much information in the visualization. It's too difficult to understand the main point. While it's technically accurate, they've included every single possible breakdown of the data. It's best to identify one story from the data and highlight that clearly.
Looks like it's back to the classroom for this team of university students.
Contestant number 2's overall score is 3.7.
All tied up here at the Hackaviz with 2 more entries for the judges.
And now for the third entry.
It's in red, so it must be really important. Okay, I'll give it a 5. Are we done now? I have to pick up my kids from school and then get to work.
If you know the data, you know that the difference in school completion rates are improving. Also, the gap between males and females is getting better, not worse. But to look at this graph, you'd think the sky is falling. This visualization focuses on how much school completion rates have grown for boys and girls. This completely ignores what the completion rates actually are. Back in 2007, our data showed there was a big gender gap. Far fewer girls than boys completed secondary school.
I remember that. We ran a headline, Schools Failing Girls.
Yes, I know. I've got the article pinned in my office. The next year, the government introduced new programs to tackle this issue. Since then, we've increased the overall number of students completing secondary school, and we're closing the gender gap.
We covered that too. The headline was, School Completion Gender Gap Closes in Cities.
It took some time to achieve national coverage. My point is that completion rates for girls have grown faster than completion rates for boys. But more boys complete school now than in the past. This visualization doesn't give this context. And the title is terrible. The whole thing is misleading.
Thank you, Minister. Your score, please.
My score is 4.
And you, editor?
This is clickbait. It is sensational and catches people's interests, but it's just not true. This is the kind of visualization that causes libel suits and angry letters to the editor. I give it a 2.
Astounding. All 3 entries are tied with the same overall score of 3.7. Lots of reaction from the judges to this visualization. Karim?
Where do I start with this graph? First, the 3-dimensional design distorts the data, making it difficult to see what's going on. Next, as the minister said, it shows growth in school completion, rather than the actual completion rate. The visualization only tells part of the story. It could be quite misleading, and the title is completely inappropriate for this visualization. It should describe the data impartially and definitely. It shouldn't be sensational or political.
Our fourth and final entry.
Oh my, now I get it. This issue is really important. Minister, I can see there's been progress. Keep up the good work. The visualization is clear, and it helps me to understand and care about the topic. I'll give it a 10.
I can't believe it. You're paying attention. You understand. I concur with my esteemed colleague. I give this a 10. We can see that secondary school completion rates are going up, and the gender gap has almost disappeared. However, we can also see that there's more work to do to meet our target of over 95% completion by 2030.
This visualization would read well in our online edition, on a phone or tablet, and also in the print edition. The issue is timely and the interpretation is clear from the annotations. I give it a 10.
All the judges agree. It's a perfect score. We have a winner.
The winning entry came from... Is this right? The winning entry came from Central Secondary School? It's from a group of students.
Here come the winners now to receive their prize.
On behalf of the Government of Stygia National Statistics Office, it gives me great pleasure to award your team the first prize for data visualization.
Thanks. Hi, Mom.
Yeah, thanks a lot. We'd like to thank our teachers who encouraged us to enter the contest.
We're going to use the prize to have an ice cream party.
Thanks for making me care about school completion.
If you'd like a job at the paper after school, contact me. Here's my card.
What's a paper? I read the news online.
It's just an expression. We're online too.
I'm here with two of the judges, the Minister of Education and the editor of the Stygia Gazette. Minister, what did you think about the contest?
It's so important that the National Statistics Office is bringing attention to this topic of data visualization, and also, of course, bringing public attention to education completion rates and gender.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. When we are trying to capture the public attention and hold politicians to account, there's nothing like a good visualization to tell a story.
What are you looking for in a good visualization?
It's got to be accurate. It should tell a story.
Disaggregated data shows how one group is doing compared to how another group is doing. That's really helpful to making policy that leaves no one behind.
Thank you. Over to you, Karim.
Thank you, Pam. I'm here with Regular Joe, one of the other judges on the panel. Joe, I noticed that you gave the first three contestants the same score, a 5, and the last contestant, you scored a 10. What was going through your head when you reviewed the entries?
I've got a lot of responsibilities at home and at work, and I can't always follow news and policy debates so closely. A lot of times, I just skim. The winning entry ticked all the boxes for me. I was really impressed. The title made it relevant to me. The visualization is clear and uncluttered. You didn't see that in the other entries.
What about the second entry?
It was just too much, I don't have all day to figure out what they were trying to say. It would look nice as a carpet. Oh, I gotta go. Bye.
Back to you, Pam.
Thanks, Karim. I'm here with the winning team. What was your strategy for creating the winning entry?
The strategy was keep it simple.
Stupid.
Ah, yes, the KISS principle, the winning strategy. And what did you learn?
I learned a lot about school completion in our country when we looked at the data.
It's different by gender and by region and by income level. We talked about what to include in our visualization and tried to pick the most important ideas to present.
Yeah, this is really important. We should all take this seriously and, do something to make it better.
Once I'm old enough to vote, I'm going to vote for politicians that do something about education.
Job done. Nice work, Karim. We made people care about the data.
Today, the government responded to allegations that it's not moving fast enough to reduce gender disparities in secondary school completion.